The Cardinals had stellar play from freshman Marisa Miko earlier this week at the Cardinal Classic, highlighting this week's game-changing performance. The Naperville native fired a team-best 86 at the Cardinal Classic, a score that gave her third-place medalist honors. Miko has taken home 3 top 5 finishes in her first 3 meets and is averaging an 18-hole score of 81.7. Junior Cardinal Alyssa Gaudio finished last season as an all-CCIW member for the 2nd straight year. Senior Jessica Struthers has played under Coach Thompson all 4 seasons at North Central College and averaged an 18-hole score of 87 as a junior. Both will be looking to help the Cardinals climb to the top of the CCIW this year. Girls, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Alyssa, you're a junior this year. You've had a lot of accomplishments over the last 3 seasons. The past 2 seasons named CCIW All-Conference or a member of the All-Conference team. You also qualified for nationals, and I believe that's the first time that anyone has done that for the women's golf team. What has your experience been like over these past 2.5, 3 seasons here?
Well, freshman year, when we were trying to see if I qualified, it was just a big waiting thing because you had to wait till the spring until you had rounds in the spring and to see if you could qualify. And then it came down to the week before, I think, when we found out, and it was just really exciting to know I was going.
Sure.
And then it was just a good experience, but it's more team-oriented, right. So we're hoping maybe this year we have a chance to win conference and can go down as a team. That would be really exciting, I think.
How does that work? You have kind of 2 separate seasons. You have a fall season and a spring season. You know, what's that waiting period like where you finish your conference up in, you know, October or November, and then you don't hear about nationals until, what is that like?
Yeah, well, you have to have 12 rounds in the fall, right? And then I think it's 3 to 5 in the spring that they count. And so then they have to look at golf stat and the top, I think it was 11 individuals or something like that, and then because they have 20 teams, and so it's just a big like waiting to see where everyone keeps moving up and down the line, and if you're in the top 11, and if like you'll get taken. So it's just, I don't know, it's a big guessing game, and it's like nerve-wracking for a lot of it. So
it seems like that would be a lot of pressure. I know golf. If I'm out there golfing, there's pressure, and I'm just playing for fun. Now, as a freshman, kind of doing those things, and as a sophomore accomplishing those feats, you come into your junior season. Has your mind state kind of changed over the 3 years? Maybe being around some of the same girls. You know, what is that like?
I don't know. I think we all put a lot of pressure on ourselves that we shouldn't have when we're out there. So yeah, I would say I put more pressure on just because of the past 2 years and wanting to succeed this year. But I mean, it helps to be around your friends on the team because they help to calm you down, and just even if it was a bad day, like to have fun and forget about it and move on.
Right. The last 3 meets, you guys have kind of been playing with the same girls in the CCIW that I'm sure you've been playing with for the last couple of years. What's that like kind of going into the meet knowing that you're playing with Wheaton's #1 or Carthage #1, girls that you've probably played with not only last week or 2 weeks ago, but maybe even last season?
I think it's a lot different than other sports, like how most competition, your competitors you don't like and you don't want to associate with, but for golf, since you're with them for 5 hours out there, you get to know them and you get to become friends with them, and right. It's really fun. Like you're looking to play with the ones you know and that you've played with, and it's just, you have a better time out there playing with the ones you know.
Right.
So.
You and Jessica being on the team for 3 years and 4 years, what kind of things do you expect out of the team this year, knowing that you're bringing back your top 3 scorers and you're adding a lot more depth than maybe you've had in years past?
Well, I'm hoping if we can just take away some of the pressure and try and play with more like ease and everything, I'm hoping we'll have a good top 4 that we have a shot at winning conference or being in contention. So we'll see. I mean, we do have depth, and everyone's been practicing and working hard and focusing, so I hope it goes well.
Sure. Jessica, now you've been on North Central's golf team for 4 years. You've kind of seen the progression over the years. You're one of only 3 seniors on the team this year. What has it been like kind of seeing the team go from where it was when you were a freshman to where you're at this season?
Yeah, well, when I was a freshman, we had about 19 people on the team, so I mean, there's just a lot of depth. And then I think when a lot of those people graduated and Alyssa came in, she kind of really stepped up our game, and we wanted to kind of get to the level that she was at. So it definitely helped having her come in.
Was it, I don't want to say it was more relaxed, but do you find it a little bit more serious now, having kind of the 9 girls on the team, maybe a good core group of girls, than what it was 3 years ago, 4 years ago?
Yeah, I'd say it's more serious, but yet more relaxed in a way, because you have the same group of people competing and you're with the same people rather than a different group here or there. So
there's a lot of underclassmen on the team, and a couple sophomores and a couple freshmen who look like they could be scoring a lot for the team this year. You being the senior on the team, again, maybe that's a lot of freshmen for a freshman or sophomore, but you being the senior on the team, what kind of words of wisdom can you pass on to them when, it seems like golf is such a mental game, and you kind of have to take each hole at a time?
I mean, I know a lot of the girls, our first tournament this year, were really nervous, and I can definitely relate to that. So just kind of, just tell them to stay in their game and just try and stay focused and calm as much as they can.
Sure. You guys have both been around the game for, 4 to 6 years, we were talking about. Jessica, you came from DeKalb High School and did not have a girls program. You were the only girl on the boys team.
Yes.
From high school, what was playing with the boys like?
It's definitely a lot different. I mean, I like being on the girls team more. I think they get a lot less mad when they have a bad shot, and it's a little more comfortable, because the guys not take it more seriously, but just don't really talk or anything to kind of keep relaxed while you're playing. So it's definitely a different atmosphere.
Was there anything you could take from maybe that atmosphere that you brought to North Central College that you might be able to maybe share with the girls? Was it maybe a different mental state, a tougher mental state playing with those boys?
I could say maybe there's a little tougher mental state going in, yeah. Probably.
Is that something that you guys kind of look for as a golfer, maybe specifically coach? Do you kind of build that in the off season, that mental toughness? I mean, physical ability is definitely one thing, but do you kind of preach that to the team, that mental toughness is where it's at?
I believe I do.
Yeah.
At least I try to do it. That is, I would consider the number one focus as far as the team, is to try to build that strong mental focus. The physicality of it is great, because we work out. I mean, both these ladies in fine condition and so forth, because we have to walk 18 holes, and some days 36, depending on the tournament. But your mind can play games with you, and with golf, that's something that you have to keep under control. You got to keep intact. And I try to tell both ladies here that the tougher that you can become out there on the course, the better you're going to play. So mental toughness is one of my key. I hate to use the word preaching tools.
No, yeah, definitely. And do you kind of see that?
Yeah, I was going to say, Coach always preaches, like, you have 10 seconds to get mad at your shot, and then you get over it because you can't do anything about it anymore, and you move on, and you focus it on the next shot, and then you just take it one shot at a time, and it works better.
Yeah. Coach Thompson, Jessica, Alyssa, thank you very much for joining us today. Stay tuned as Sports Information Director Clark Tusher joins us for a brief timeout. Stay tuned.